If you've ever wondered, will the fractional CMO model work in my niche? This video is going to break it all down for you. Hey, I'm Jess. I run Fractional CMO School and have a 7-figure fractional CMO agency. And every single week, I break down the behind the scenes of what it's like to build and grow your business as a fractional CMO. Today, I'm going to break down what actually makes fractional work in any niche and the reason marketers get stuck on the niche question and where you should be focusing instead. Okay, so newsflash, the fractional model works in every single niche. Yes, every niche. So what you're actually selling as a fractional CMO has nothing to do with the industry. It's strategic leadership, it's judgment and decision making. It's the ability to read people, to prioritize, to decide what matters, and lead and direct a team. It's a set of skills and experience and expertise that is universal to every single business that is doing marketing. And I mean, every single business needs this. It doesn't matter if they sell software or swimsuits or short-term rentals or a styling membership. They all need marketing leadership. So if the question is no longer, will fractional CMO services work in my niche? You get to ask a different question, and that is, what makes fractional CMO services work? So let's talk about that. There are 4 things that determine whether a business is a fit for fractional CMO services, and none of them are related to a niche or an industry. Number 1 is their revenue. So the business needs to be making enough money to actually be able to afford marketing leadership as well as marketing execution. So in my niche, which is the sort of online business coach creator space, typically they have digital products, which means their profit margins are pretty high. That typically would be about the $2 to $2.5 million mark in revenue for a larger package, or the $1 million-ish mark for a smaller package, give or take. But it's less about the exact number and more about whether there's budget left over, because we want to be looking at their revenue, their profit margins, their current team. Those are all very, very important. Number 2 is owner or CEO readiness. So the founder has to want a strategic partner or a marketing leader, not someone who is a doer or a project manager or someone who's going to come in and be an order taker. They have to really be wanting someone who's going to step in and lead the marketing function for them. Or if you're working with them in a smaller capacity, be that sounding board and advisor for them and help them map out a strategy to grow their business. They have to be wanting that. Number 3 is marketing complexity. So they need to actually be doing things in marketing. Otherwise, it's kind of boring. You want to make sure that they have marketing activities and they've got the time and budget and team to actually be doing stuff inside marketing, which I know sounds obvious, but the amount of people that I talk to that end up working with a company who is maybe only doing social media, and then they end up being sort of a glorified social media strategist or manager. So we want to make sure that they have a big enough team that they can actually do some cool things in marketing. My favorite clients do have a little internal team, and they have a bunch of contractors and agencies, and they are usually doing marketing across a bigger variety of channels, because that for me makes my job a lot more interesting when I can help them put together a multi-channel marketing plan. And lastly, budget. We want to make sure that they have sufficient budget for leadership, that they are already staffed for execution. So I know I mentioned that at the beginning when I talked about revenue, but I'm bringing it up again because we almost need to double click more into their financial picture and have an understanding of who is on their marketing team, who do they need to have on their marketing team, and what does that mean when it comes to the leftover budget for marketing leadership. I always prioritize execution. So there are definitely times I will say to a client, look, you can't afford me on an ongoing basis because I actually want you to use this budget here for marketing execution. But let's do a strategy for you so that you know when you bring someone in to execute that they are focused on the right things. Okay, so if you are taking the box on all 4 of those things, revenue, owner readiness, marketing complexity, and then budget for thinking, not just execution, the niche does not matter. I promise. So I want to talk a little bit about the question around niches, because there's a reason marketers fixate on this niche question a lot, and it's rarely about finding the perfect niche. What they're actually saying is one of three things. Number one is, I want a shortcut. They think if I find the perfect industry, I won't have to figure out the hard stuff, because if I go in the right niche, it's just going to be easy. It's going to be easier to get leads. The work's going to be easy. That is not true. So that happens. Or number two, I'm hoping the right niche will compensate for the fact that I don't fully feel prepared for this role, or I don't know if I'm ready to be a CMO. They're thinking maybe there's a niche that's easier. And then number three, if someone else has done it in this niche, then I can do it too. I have seen fractional CMOs across every single niche. And if you are sitting there feeling maybe not quite ready or not sure if you're ready for this role, the only thing that is going to help you feel ready is just by ripping off the Band-Aid and doing it uncomfortable. That is exactly what I did when I first started. And when I first started, I actually was coming from a very multi-factored background. I had been in e-commerce, I had been in hospitality and tourism, I'd been in tech, I had been at Deloitte, big consulting firm, I'd been at Lululemon e-commerce. And I came into this space thinking, I have no idea what kind of company I wanted to work with. So I worked with a whole big, wide variety of companies. And the niche I have focused on over the last 5 years has been the coach, sort of creator course space. And my very, very first client in that space was Jenna Kutcher. If you're not familiar with her, she is one of the biggest online brand names, or was, in the online space over the last few years. And for me to land a big client like that as my first one in the niche, if I can do it, you can do it. Marketing skills are so transferable. And the only thing that gets in the way of you going into a different niche or having it work in a certain niche is the belief you have in yourself. Because your strategic skill set, your leadership, all the things you bring to the table as a CMO, that can work anywhere. And when you stop doubting yourself and you show up confidently, you will see that all of those skills and that leadership and that expertise is so transferable. All right, if you like today's episode, please rate and review the show. It helps other marketers find this. And if you want to go deeper and work with me to grow your fractional CMO business, Fractional CMO School is open for enrollment. All the information is below. My DMs are always open if you have questions. Thank you so much, and I will see you next